Hey, welcome back. We have another knife, and this is the Demco 8020.5, the regular OS 10 Grivery model. Very excited. It has been a very fun winter season so far, going deep. You know, I did a lot of Demco, and I have gotten pretty deep on Brown and Oz Roosevelts. And it's getting exciting, folks. So, you know, I don't really just do things half-assed, if you notice that. I don't really just go, okay, I'm just gonna go do this, get one knife. If I do, I do, and then you'll never see another video on it. But when I do something and I get excited about it, I'm all in. And this one is very representative of that. Oh, buddy. One of the things I noticed when I started unboxing the mini FSD is that I really liked the FSD full size. And in turn, I went and started talking to people about whether they would sell theirs. And thank you to the seller on this one. I was able to get another one. So let me just, it was out in like 30 something, maybe low 40s weather. So it's got a little condensation going just because it's so cold and the room is warm. So I'm just going to give it a little wipe down here, get some eyes on it. Overall, things look very good. It was described as second owner. First owner claimed it was new unused. I think what happens with a lot of these knives, frankly, is people get them. They're too afraid to carry them, kind of like myself. They collect them, they flick them around, and kind of enjoy them as collectors as opposed to users. But they do get used a little in those scenarios, so it's important to realize that. And I do notice in this case, this one's either been used a lot or something, but it has a very light detent compared to the other ones that I've gotten. Now the detents are adjustable, so that could be something that the person did to it or not, but it is amazingly light. Now it's also very nice because of that, but not what I expected. I've also noticed that this is a very early one, and I think the detent may have been adjusted later. I think it's adjustable though is the thing, but the button's a little different on this earlier variant, so that's interesting. Overall, looks great. It's a really cool color. Brown has these different tables of anodization that you can choose from during what he calls like semi-custom drops. And this would be, you know, one that probably got built during one of those semi-custom drops. So if you want, you can go check out on the website number 54. Right, this is a pretty early variant into the whole FSD, mini FSD journey he's been on. And it definitely feels different than the one. I got a very late variant also. Let me see what number this is, sorry. This one is number 213. So like, you know, in the last 100 that he made. And yeah, the detent is way different feeling on this. This actually feels very different. Obviously they have different finishes and so on, but look how lightly, I'm just gonna use my pinky as an example. I can pull that out. That's very light on the detent versus I can barely get that out with my pinky. So that's really interesting. And then again, I mentioned the difference here. So you got a little different button. This one gives you a little more purchase, which is cool. They're both CPM 154 in this case. I did hunt down a 20 CV one also, so watch out for that video coming. But yeah, super cool. I wonder if the thickness is the same and everything. What else changed as they went? The jimping looks very similar. The blades look very similar. Pocket clips and everything similar. Maybe it's just the buttons. Very curious how the edge is on this early one. Again, you don't really know when you buy it private party if this is the original edge or not, but allegedly this one is the original edge. give it a little test here. This is a pretty good one. I've had some somewhat varied results, but this one feels really good. Now, it could have been stropped, you never know. I try not to make an assessment about the maker based off of a used knife, right? You can kind of guess a little bit. There's certain elements that aren't going to be, you know, terribly different. But there's a lot that are, you know, going to be consistent. Now, the light detent does make it a real pleasure, I got to say, to, you know, you don't get the pop on the Spidey flick, so that can be a little problematic here, but it makes it really easy to thumb flick it, which is cool. Like, I feel like I could do that one with the, maybe the meat. No, it doesn't have quite enough detent to do the meat, but you can just kind of dig your fingernail in there and toss it out really easily. It'd also be probably really easy for a reverse flick. Not a lot of detent is the thing, so you're almost just reverse rolling it, which shows just how little detent there is that I can just roll it out with the reverse here. So I may look into that and see if it's something that can be adjusted. I know he mentioned it in his video that it was adjustable detent, but you know, it may be something that I even try and have him work on for me. You know, he's 30 minutes away, so super thrilled to have it in the collection. This one now represents the third handle variation because I have the mini FSD also here. That I've added to the collection, so that's really cool. Super duper duper stoked to have it. And you know, this was a knife that came off of Reddit, so if you're looking for a really great community that's a little less price gouging than some of the others, that's one of the things. Whoa, that's how little the detent is. I just grabbed it by here and the knife came out. So that was exciting. Let's put this one on the other side just in case it decides to slip out again. That was really interesting. Did not expect that. Make sure that we didn't get any damage in doing that. Oh, everything looks good still. Yeah, good to go. I think I got very lucky on what just happened there. But Reddit is really, I had bought like a couple knives on there, but I hadn't really gotten into it. One of the things that kind of bothers me about Reddit is the process of finding what you're looking for is not quite as easy to me as like Blade forums or Facebook or whatever. Just a little wild west. And if you turn on alerts, it's a little unorganized, disorganized. But in fact, there's a Reddit message right now. There is this whole theme of like not price gouging on there, and they really hold each other accountable. Whereas a lot of the, you know, Facebook things and like Blade forums, you're not allowed to comment on people's pricing. There's some accountability on Reddit, which is kind of fun. You know, it's just social harassment. A lot of people won't listen to it, but it's definitely there, and it's kind of fun. The banter on Reddit's killer. So if you're not on Reddit, what are they? r/knives and r/knife swap, and what are the other ones? There's one about drops. I can't remember what it's called. R Knives in Stock. It's really a cool community. Now, don't go on there and bring bad habits, please, from other communities. The whole, you know, there's certainly a theme of trying to treat each other a little better there. There's a very anti-scalping tone. Now, obviously, there are people still on there trying to sell knives for more, but, you know, it's a place where people actually call each other out on that stuff. So, look, it's a for-profit industry, and I'm not going to really take a side on that. That's not what I am here to do, but I appreciate concepts like that. I also appreciate the other option, and I think it's about finding a place that you're comfortable and that fits your philosophy, and maybe Reddit's a good one for you that offers a little bit of a different culture than you may have found in some of the other forums that you've been a part of. So super excited to have this brown FSD. I think this was called pattern 3 or pattern 4. I can't remember exactly which pattern. Maybe it says on here actually. Let's take a look. Does it say? I don't know if it does. FSD, it doesn't say the pattern number on here, but it would say on the website. So I'll maybe put the link in the description. But you know, these are MSRP $800 knives, maybe $825 with this configuration, with the ano and everything. That you know, you're going to pay more than that on the secondary market, but they're not terribly more than that. And you know, I along with a lot of, I'd say, pretty experienced knife people tend to feel that they're worth it and worth a look. So I'll do a little offline research on the detent on this and see what's going on there. See if it's something that I can adjust. One of the things I did notice, by the way, is that this whole button lock, which is really a button liner lock, can actually, if you can see that in there, that can screw out, which is really cool. So if that part were to have, you know, an issue, you could just replace that part of it. I don't think that's the, how does the detent work on this? I'm not going to try and assess how the detent works. I think this also does have the detent ball on it though, and maybe that just needs to be adjusted or something, but I'm not 100% sure how that works. So I'll have to do a little research and ask around and or do some, you know, find a video on it or something like that. So hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. It's, you know, a little funny when the knife pops out like that in the middle of a video, but that makes it fun. And, you know, look, I'm not perfect and never claim to be, definitely not a pro, just another consumer and a collector that enjoys this stuff, and try not to take myself too seriously, even when I get embarrassed. So I appreciate if you can like and subscribe. Let me know in the comment section. Maybe you know something about the detent on these, for instance. That'd be appreciated, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.